Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Mean Green Nation podcast. Welcome to it. Today we got a special guest, the most special guest, Conference USA Player of the Year, the man himself, Mr. Tylor Perry. How you doing on this Saturday? I know y'all got out of practice and whatever, right?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me. Just, excited to keep playing. And like you said, we just got out of practice. So, like I said, I appreciate you having me.
I think you're doing me the favor. You know what I mean? Like I think everybody wants to talk to you. It's not like I got to get on that Mean Green show. Nobody's really saying that. I will say though, I'm curious about like what March like y'all been practicing what since October, something like that, a little bit before that.
Since June.
Yeah. I mean, like, so y'all been grinding, right? Like early
hmm
practices, I'm guessing, and you can tell me, you correct me if I'm wrong, or like, all right, this is how we're gonna do is like setting a tone, like level of toughness, building up, kind of like the level of fitness that you want to have late in the season. So our practice is different now. Is it now more about just getting details right, or what? You tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier in the year is super rugged, super tough, long, and you know, um, very detailed. Like early in the year, and like I said, it's long and hard, and you got to fight every 5 minutes. Now it's more you're more laid back. You trying to fix all the little things now.
Yeah.
Trying to get control of the little things that you know you have to correct in order to beat teams like Wisconsin and Oklahoma State. Things like that. So it's more laid back. We're not up and down as much now and trying to get into our legs. And so definitely more detailed now.
So that's the other thing, right? You talking about details, like what kind of details? And you gotta remember, there's like some people that are like love basketball and they know everything you're talking about, like the way you're setting screens, the way you're coming off screens, this, that, and the other. And other people are a little bit more casual, so they're like details. What does that mean? Like, so tell me, like, what the difference
Just
is.
putting in new plays that teams haven't seen,
Okay.
um, plays that we may have ran during games and we botched. And so now we're trying to fix them. Defensive scheme, different defensive schemes we may throw at people,
Yeah.
different matchups we may see, and then just breaking down certain things we may see over the course of the game. So stuff like that, not too much. You can't just throw too much at a team this late in the year, and our coaches have done so good at that. That's why they are who they are. And it just things like that, just being able to correct the little things because of what you're going to see, because it's not too many things that teams are going to change at this point in the year. And so just getting familiar with your opponent and, like I said, correcting the small things that you know you need to have.
Yeah, I mean, you won 28 some games with it, right? It's not like, those are bad plays. Those are good plays. Like you say, it's
Exactly.
like let's fix them up. All right, so I had posited that basically, because I think some people, other fans, were like, "Oh man, they didn't come out. Y'all didn't come out. Blow out Alcorn State by 30, like in the first 5 minutes. Now, that's a
hmm
little unrealistic. Like, and you tell me if I'm right. I'm like, look, at this point in the year, every team is good. There's no bad team after this point, right? Like, it's Alcorn State good. They won, a bunch of games, won their league, whatever. Sam Houston State, finished second in their league, whatever that. I forget the exact numbers. Oklahoma State, obviously good, best league in the nation. Can you feel that? Can you like? Is it like what does it feel like to play good team after good team after good
It's
team?
real, man. Like if you playing in March, you're a good team. Like it was some teams getting ready to vacation during February, sometimes some in January. Like if you got a chance to play in the postseason in March, you are a good team. I don't care what league you from, who
Yeah.
you played throughout the year, but you can put yourself in a chance to give yourself an opportunity to play at this point in the season. You're a good team. Like, and I think it's the people who don't really know basketball that think you're not really gonna come in and just blow somebody out at this point. Of course, March Madness does happen, so that's why it is what it is, and you never know what's going to happen on any given night. Somebody can go 0 for a team could hit every shot they throw up, and so it just it happens over the course of the game. March Madness is all about figuring out ways to win, and you got to figure out different ways. You can't. Some teams do win the same way every night, and those great teams adjust no matter what's going on through the course of the game. And so I think that's what we've been able to do is the opponents we play, we've been able to adjust to every tempo. And Sam Houston and Alcorn kind of, similar, tried to get up in you and play really fast, and they want an up and down game. Oklahoma State's more of a throw it inside, we're going to grind you out. And I think Wisconsin is kind of the same way. So we've been lucky to see have two games the first like each other. And now I think these next two will kind of be like each other. And so, like I said, we've been lucky. And then who knows what we'll see, Utah Valley or UAB. But we got to handle Wisconsin first. We can't, you can't look past to anybody, especially at this time, because every team is trying to win out.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like you're not allowed to look forward to. I can look at. I'm just
Right.
like, oh man, look at that UAB matchup. I'll be excited. I mean, and again, I'm not gonna ask you to talk about that UAB squad, but it seemed to me like y'all playing your best basketball right at the end. I mean, y'all blew out Middle, which I think is a good team. Middle's a very good team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, y'all kind of got hit in the mouth over there in Nashville, or whatever, Murfreesboro. So like y'all know that they're good, and I think y'all came out ready for that one. Same thing with Western Kentucky. They're a talented team. I mean, I'm a big fan of Davion McKnight. I think that dude can ball.
Hmm.
And so like, yeah, I mean, but y'all made them look like they're not good teams, right? Blew them out.
Right.
And then Louisiana Tech, another good squad. Isaiah Crawford, again, baller. I mean, y'all handled them. A little slip up against UAB, but then again, Alcorn State, y'all, blew them out. Sam Houston State, same kind of deal. All good teams. What is clicking for y'all?
I
I
think
mean,
just staying together. A lot of people get derailed at this time of the year. And of course, with this portal and with everything that gets said in the media, teams can easily get distracted with what they're not supposed to. And I think what we've done so well these last couple of weeks is just stay together. Like we've all said, we're gonna block out the outside noise, and we're gonna finish the job. And the UAB loss in the conference tournament definitely, I think it sucks that it happened the way it happened. We didn't get the tournament bid. We couldn't go dancing, but in a sense, it brought us closer because we were like, man, we're gonna go play the NIT and we're gonna win it. Like, that's all we got left with each other. And so I think that kind of was like, we don't want that sour taste in our mouth from UAB. And of course, last year we dealt with playing in NIT and losing, and we remember how that felt. And so we was just like, we don't want to go out like that again. And so I think we wanted to cut down net so bad. I think that's what we're all fighting for right now. And so when you got a group of guys that's still fighting for something at this point in time in the year, it's a blessing, man, because it could easily be going a different way.
yeah, I mean that's the thing about like, I mean, watching everybody compete is what I think what makes March Madness and the whole thing great is because like it's like playoff basketball in the NBA or just everything like that is like, everything's on the line, right?
Right.
Like it every moment, every rebound, all that, and seeing people compete as hard as they can. I think and that's kind of what sports is all about. Is what everybody wants to play for. So I mean, you mentioned like you kind of block out the the outside noise, this, that, and the other. I think like how much of that, like I think there's a good amount of that, right? Sometimes you want to get a little motivation, like, oh, they don't think I'm good. Well, let me show them what's up. But you need like the right amount of that. It's like the right amount of spice. You don't want to overwhelm the dish. How do you find the right amount of outside motivation? But also keep it from messing with your day to day.
For me, it's just always been I walk around with a chip on my shoulder, whether I read something on the internet or not. Um, and I've just always been that way on and off the court. Like I said, you see the little things on social media what people have to say. You read them, but you can't really value that. You can't value people's opinion who really don't know what's going on, and that's what they do. That's what they're on there for is clickbait. And so I've over the last 4 years I've played a lot of basketball, and so I've learned that people gonna have something to say whether you're doing good or bad, no matter what. And so for me, it's motivation. I have it within. I still have two older brothers who tell me every day that I'm not good. So uh, I'm definitely, I really don't need the outside motivation. I'm glad it's there because it helped. But like I said, I get it from within. And I never want to get stagnant. I never want to feel like I'm complacent in any situation. So, and I just love the grind. I love the everyday grind and love the everyday of what you got to do. And so, um, I have this chip on my shoulder to always continue to prove myself, even if I don't have to sometimes. It's a love that you gotta have for it. there's kind of a sickness a little bit, like you know what I mean, but competitive nature, and it's just you just gotta continue to want it, continue to want what comes with it, the good and bad, and just continue to get up every day and try to be better every day.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely know what you're talking about. Like in my own stuff, but I think like I mean, it's that classic Mike Jordan, right? Like, and I took that personally and stuff. I mean, you think about all the greatest of the great, and they all had that little, like you said, you call it a sickness. It's a little bit like, man, that guy's kind of crazy. I mean, you have to have a little something to make you better than everybody else, or else you're just gonna be like everybody else, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand that, and I think the trick maybe is finding enough of that to keep you motivated, but also keeping that in check so that way you don't alienate all the people you love and all the other stuff. You're not always trying to
Right.
dominate it like dominoes or something. But I totally get that. All right, so we talked about the NIT right now. Y'all are prepping for it, putting in some new plays. Are they gonna give y'all time to like enjoy Vegas? I don't imagine they would, because it seems like y'all got a job to take care of. I mean, so is it y'all gonna do any Vegas type things? They gonna,
They haven't told us yet, but I know we'll get time off. Like
yeah,
we'll get there tomorrow. We don't play till Tuesday.
yeah,
Um, and then Monday, of course, it'll be preparation day. Tuesday we'll play. We plan on winning that game. Wednesday we'll have an off day.
yeah,
Thursday preparation day. I mean Wednesday off day or whatever. Still kind of preparation day. Thursday game, championship game, and then I don't think we leave until Friday.
yeah. I mean,
So
that makes sense. It would be kind
I
of
don't
weird to
know what
win it
time the flight
and then
leaves Friday, whatever
yeah.
the case may be. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of Vegas, so I could care less if we go out and whatever. As long as we cut down them nets Thursday night, I'm perfectly fine. That's all I need. I'll probably be ready to get back to Denton at that point anyway. And so, like I said, I'm sure we'll go see something. We'll probably ride around a little bit, but
Yeah.
we on a mission, man. Like I said, we want to cut them nets down. It sucks losing the UAB and not being able to get the chance to go dancing. And I don't want that my teammates, I don't want them leaving with that feeling again. Like I don't want them having to deal with that again. And so I'm gonna try to do everything in my power, that I can to, help us, get a championship. And that's the main goal. We can say the party for when we get back.
I mean, I think that's the right, like, that's what everybody wants to hear. Right? That's the thing. Like, we don't want you out there gambling on Monday.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right. Speaking about the time off there, like, do you prefer sort of like the back to back? Because y'all played, y'all played Sam Houston State, right? Beat them,
Mhm.
and then you kind of found out, oh, we only got a day before we got to do Oklahoma State. Do you prefer like that quick turnaround, or do you like, this like, all right, we won, now we got a week to prepare for Wisconsin?
I like the quick turnaround. I hate sitting around. I don't know what it is, but like, no, a day or two is perfectly fine with me. I
Yeah.
hate sitting around. I think so many things can happen in a week. That's a lot of practices, a lot of practice time, and so many things can happen. And like I said, getting that good rest, that good night rest, a day or two, 48 hours, like I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, but 5, 6 days, I hate it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it feels like kind of maybe throws off your rhythm a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So you're from Fort Coffee, Oklahoma, right? And I was looking that up because I had never been through there. I've been through Oklahoma a couple times, just kind of go this way, that way, but never been out to Fort Coffee. But I've been like to that art. I got a friend that lives out there, like in Arkansas, that's sort of near there. So I guess tell the people, like, if you're going through there, what to do. I don't know, in Fort Coffee or something. Or like, hey man, like it'd be like the text, like, hey, I'm here in Fort Coffee. What should I do? You know?
Um, I wish I could give y'all a blueprint to tell y'all what to do in Fort Coffee, but
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing out there. Like we don't have stoplights in our town.
Dang.
Um,
Well, I mean, I saw
but
it's like 300 people is the population. I
yeah,
was
I
like,
think the
man,
population is like 349 now. It used to be like the most I think it ever was maybe 600.
dang.
Um, but yeah, it's this big. Literally, it's a big
Yeah,
square.
yeah,
But like I said, the thing about it is, coming from a situation like that, I'm so family oriented, and my whole family is out there. Of course, we've moved out. A lot of people have moved out or whatever,
yeah,
and but we all still come back.
yeah,
And so, like growing up, you had all your friends and family right next to you, so you didn't really need to go anywhere. You had
yeah,
everybody that you wanted to spend time with right next to you, and so that was always the biggest thing for me is like not being from the city is like, yeah, I don't have all these things to go out and do every day or whatever, but like I have exactly who I need right next to me. And so we go out and ride four wheelers, we go mudding, go fishing, play football. We have kickball tournaments, cookouts, all that. So like, those are things I enjoy doing. I love doing still to this day. We'll definitely do one after the season when I get home. And so like, you can't put a price on that. Like it's easy to go to in the city and go do all these types of things and skyscrapers and all that. Like that's all fun and dandy. But at the end of the day, I love being in the country. I love seeing the grass and cows running around. Like I love it. And so I wish I could tell y'all something to do, but there's absolutely nothing out there.
Well, it sounds like the thing to do is make friends with somebody so they can invite you to the cookout, and that's what.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so like I grew up in the city, so I'm a fan of the cities. However,
Mm-hmm.
like in high school, I moved out to the country. I remember calling up my friends. I was like, dude, there's some cows on the way to class out here, man. And they're like,
Yeah,
what? You're
yeah.
like way out there. My grandfather was like, oh, you're in the monte, which means like the forest, and you're out there, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and so I mean, but yeah, like that's the thing, though. I think that you're right. There is an argument to be made that a large part of everybody trying to find some is trying to find something to do with. Whether it's like let's go to the mall, you just really it's not really about what you're shopping for. It's who you're shopping with.
Exactly. Who you with? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I totally get that. I think that's good that you know what you want, and know what you like. I think that's good to find out as quick as you can.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right. So, can you just tell me what's like practice like? Because I know uh, Coach Grant McCaslin. In case you all don't know, he was like, yeah, I don't know anybody that practices hard like we do, like this, that, and the other. So, what's hard about the practice? Is it just like you got to go full speed? Is it like he's making y'all run deep sixes? I mean, what is a hard practice like?
Um, the thing about it is this they're holding you accountable through everything. Um, a lot of people may come to practice and best players or certain people or whatever may get to skid through or it makes certain other guys, practice hard. But 1 through 15, I watched Coach Mack like tell one of our walk-ons, bottom of the depth chart, tell him like, dude, either you're gonna practice hard or you're not gonna be out here. Like and he's screaming at him like he's gonna be in the, you know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah, yeah,
playing 45 minutes or something. Like
yeah, yeah,
I've watched that happen. And so like holding 1 through 15 accountable through every drill, through every sprint, all that. Like it was one time I was tired and I was lagging behind with the bigs and Coach Mack, I hear him say like our point guard is in the back with the bigs, like just things like that. Like you may not hear that, at another team's practice. And it's stuff like that that goes a long way. And why we do the things we do here is because they hold you so accountable and they just want the best for you.
yeah,
And these coaches, they've made a name. They've proved what they have, in this game. And so like all they can do is help us. And so just for those guys to just want to come in every day and hold a 19, 20-year-old kid accountable to make him be better than he think he can be, it just shows why they are who they are. And that's what makes the practice hard. It's not we're athletes at the end of the day. We condition our bodies to be able to go through practices. And it's gonna be, of course, practice is gonna be hard on anybody if it's 2.5 hours or full, just pounding. But like I said, we condition our bodies to do this throughout the year. It's more harder mentally than it is physically when it comes to being at UNT, because they're gonna challenge you every day in the weight room, on the basketball court, off the court. Like we're being challenged. There's been multiple times where something gets retweeted on social media and Coach Hodge will send a text and be like, "How do you feel about this?" or "What does this mean?" or like, "Did you read on this?" Like just challenging us just to see if we just really knowing what we're posting and tweeting or whatever, instead of just putting it out there blindly. And so like you don't have that at a lot of programs. You don't have those people who's gonna hold you accountable, who want you to grow up, who want you to mature and become good men. Because at the end of the day, we say it all the time. These balls are gonna stop bouncing at some point, and we're gonna have to figure out who we are outside of this. What is our identity when we put this ball down? And so it's like I said, it's more challenging mentally and hard mentally than it is physically. Even though we do practice hard physically,
yeah.
they challenge us mentally.
Yeah, I think so. Two things about that. Like one, I know I saw that. just like as a fan, you can kind of see it. And I know you weren't on the squad, but I think when it was like when they beat Western Kentucky in the Conference USA Championship,
Yeah.
I think there was a moment when they're down like 6 or something like that, and you can see it was like Zach Simmons walking back out, Thomas Bell walking out, and they didn't have like, oh, we gotta, like they just had a blank face on, like we just got to
Hmm.
go take care of business, we just got to go do what we got to do. I think you can see that in the program. I think we can see that with this squad. That was like the first time like you could see it. Big moment, they took care of business. You can see it with y'all squad too, right? I mean, I think overtime, I think y'all are like 2-0, 3-0, or something like that in overtime. It looks like y'all outlast teams. It looks like y'all are a little bit more mentally ready. Just little things. And I wonder if you're like, you know what, from practice, this is what it was, or like all those challenges is paying off in this game or in this moment. I mean, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we just we're in those positions so many more times before we get to it. Um, we play end of the game situations probably 3 times a week during the regular season and preseason. And so things like that, it's like, and Coach Hodge always says, like, no matter what the ref says, no matter what he calls, no matter what Max says to you, no matter what I say to you, like, never let them see you sweat.
Yeah.
And so we've always preached ourselves on that. Like, things are gonna go wrong in basketball and in life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
mistakes are gonna happen, things are gonna happen over the course of the game, but staying the course for 40 minutes is the most important thing. Like, if and who remains together for 40 minutes. I know people hear it on interviews all the time, Max saying like tougher team wins. Tougher the team that stays together for 40 minutes is gonna win. And it's really true. Like, and I think that's why we've been so successful in those situations because that's what we preach every day. And like I said, at this time of the year, and when you're getting tired, and when you're going through the trenches with somebody, and when it comes down to the wire, your old habits show up, and what
Yeah.
you preach and practice every day is going to show up. And I think that's what that's a test to our program.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is like, I mean, those are good points. Is like, yeah, like I think I heard from somebody say that, like, if people could just kind of teach themselves, some people can. Like, then the guy was like, yeah, I could just leave the books at the beginning of the semester and walk away, come back at the end, and then test them. It'll be fine. But everybody needs a teacher. You need a coach and all that other stuff. So it's two ways. One, you need a teacher, a coach, a mentor, somebody to give you the motivation. But then also, you got to be willing to be coached and all that other stuff. And I think that's a credit to the squad for, I mean, taking all that coaching, because I've had coaches that they'll say the right things or say something, but then it's half the dude's not listening. You know what I mean? So I mean,
Right.
I it's a delicate balance, and I think it's everybody involved. I think it's definitely seen from us by our side. All right. So about school, like what classes are you taking right now? Like,
I'm in my last 2 classes that I need, so I'll walk in May. Um, I have a degree in integrative studies, and I have 2 minors in rehabilitation and African American studies. And those are what I'm finishing right now as my minors. Um, So those are what I'm in. I'm very excited to graduate. I'll be a first generation on my dad's side, and so I think I'm more excited about that than I am with anything with basketball. Is to be able to walk the stage and say I did that. Like I said, that has never happened. My grandmother has
yeah,
no grandkids that's ever done that, so I'm super excited about that. And you can see it's making me smile just thinking about it.
yeah,
Even though she won't be here to see it, I know she's smiling down on me.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
I mean, I totally get that. I was a first generation graduate too, and everybody's smiling at me. I'm like, waving. I tried to do a spin. I told myself I was gonna get up there do a spin,
Right.
but then at that moment I was like, man, I don't want to bust my, fall down the stage. Anyway, so that's good. Yeah, congratulations. What do you got to do? Right? You got to like write a paper right now or something like that. Like, what do you got to
Oh,
do to
right
complete the
now, so
class?
like I'm more of in like a lecture class for my
Okay.
African study. So like I said, lecture class. So we are writing a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
going over history. It's a lot of history that goes into it. And then my rehabilitation class is more online and reading about the body and reading about how to deal with people
Mm.
and with disabilities and things like that. So I'm definitely learning a lot, which I need because I want to be a coach one day. And so definitely exciting for me being able to see people's views on different things and how they view the world and stuff like that. So it's definitely helped me a lot because I know I'll deal with a lot of different personalities when I do decide to coach. And like I said, it's definitely helping me out.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I mean, I think that's I think everybody kind of forgets about that. Like y'all still in school. You know what I mean? It's like you're out here hooping, but then you got to go write a paper or something.
Absolutely.
All right. So, what was I gonna talk about? I had my notes right here. Um, yeah. All right. So I heard you say that, right? You're talking about you shouting out like was it Spiro High School? You said it's one of these other ones. So high school coach is what you want to be? Is that it? Like, I thought that was interesting. You said specifically, I want to be a high school coach. Is it just where you want to start out or something like that, or like tell me more
Yeah,
about that.
so yeah, Spiral, by the way. I know
Spiral.
they'll get on to me if I don't correct it. But nah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I want to start out in high school. I'm not sure where yet, where I want to live whenever I do get to that point in my life. Hopefully I got a whole lot more basketball to play before that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I want to start out in high school and eventually make transition into the college ranks. I know college is very political and people can move around and
Yeah.
it's a lot that goes into it. And so I've been told it's very stressful business and that's why I said I want to start out in high school. I don't want gray hairs by the time I'm 30. So um, I definitely want to do that first and see how that goes and just try to change kids' life. That's my biggest thing is, going to certain communities where high school isn't looked up on or graduating isn't looked up on or something like that, just being able to change a kid's life. Maybe I won't change all 10 or 15, but two or three. If I change the direction of life in a positive way, I can say I did my service. And, I've always believed my calling has been to help other people and help as many people as I can to, you know, shed light on them and shed light through God. And I think that's always been my calling. And I think high school coaching and AU coaching, could be one of the easiest ways to do it.
Yeah, I think that's very noble. I definitely respect that. Like I mean, as I always think back, I wasn't a very good basketball player. That's why I'm on this side talking to you, and not like in the NBA or something like that. But like I think about my coaches through my life, and I think still now to this day, and I'm doing something totally unrelated about some of the things they said about the way you got to approach things or something like that. And that's not to say like my parents, my family didn't have things, but it was other people too. And I
Right.
think those things are very valuable. So. Yeah, I get that, and I know I know you'll like show up at some elementary schools and kind of go. I think that's cool too, and like the little story I got about that is, so when I was a kid, Avery Johnson played for the San Antonio Spurs. I'm from San Antonio, and he came to school. He's got his Louisiana accent on, and he was like he did a little like, all right, if y'all get this right, you get free Spurs ticket. So I got the answer right, He's like, oh, come on down here. Yeah, so he did all that. And that was the first time me and my little brother, again, I was in elementary school, we went to a Spurs game. Like I said, we really couldn't afford at that time to go to Spurs games all the time. So that was
Right.
cool. I was a special moment in my life. Me and my little brother went to that game. And I got to tell him, because, he does the games at the Conference USA tournament. I got to tell him that. And I mean, so like, I think those little moments you do, like, I know they matter. You don't know they're going to matter. Maybe like, 30 years down the line, some dude's like, hey, man, you don't know you came over or something like that.
Right.
I think those are good, and I think so they have ripple effects longer than you think they do, right? You kind of forget about that day you went, but that kid doesn't, and I think that's cool. So, let me see. All right, I know we're taking up some of your time. I know you got like a soccer game you're finna go watch. Yeah, the Mean Green Soccer Squad,
Yeah.
ripping off championships.
Absolutely, man.
They're playing Texas Tech right now. I think.
Texas Tech. Mm-hmm.
And that maybe unrelated to this conversation, maybe you fans out there are like, you know what? For some reason, I don't like Texas Tech right now. I don't know what it is, and maybe you just want to see North Texas beat Texas Tech. I don't know. Maybe that's what you want, and so you can go check that out. But we're gonna thank Tyler for his time after practice. I know you got to go do some other things. Is there anything else you want to say to the Mean Green Nation before at least some of us go out there to Vegas, go watch y'all hoop? Go ahead. Floor
For
is
me,
yours.
it's just I appreciate y'all for everything throughout this year. Man, y'all been behind this team like no other. Through the ups and downs, I can remember St. Mary's and Southern Nazarene. We thought it was gonna be bad. Thought it was gonna be ugly. But y'all stuck with us, and I'm so thankful for this fan base and what they continue to do and the support that they show. There's nobody like it in the country, and shout out to the Maniacs, man, for what they've done, and Justin and just how they built their resume and how they built their crowd. Like I said, I don't think nobody works as hard as they do. And that's just a testament like to the building of this program. And it's gonna keep going way after I'm gone and way after, anybody here is gone now. Just because of the foundation we've set these past couple of years. And it started with Jay Ham and Drez and Thomas Bell and them. And I just want to see UNT continue to grow. And like I said, I'm thankful for the fans, and I can't wait to see y'all in Vegas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was Tylor Perry. Thanks again. Appreciate your time.